Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? A entrada da Loud no Valorant foi um hype enorme, e a lineup fez sua estreia no VCT contra a Gamelanders, vencendo a partida por 2-0. E recentemente o Plat, que é um podcast gringo bastante conhecido lá fora, e tem o Wyatt, que gosta bastante da região brasileira, inclusive assistiu a estreia da Loud contra a Gamelanders e deu sua opinião sobre o que viu, fazendo críticas e elogios. E eu separei aqui pra gente conferir o que eles falaram. Mas antes, confere se você tá inscrito aqui no canal, mais de 50% das pessoas que nos assistem não são inscritas. Então já confere e já deixa aquele like nesse vídeo. Mas chega de enrolação e vamos lá conferir o que eles falaram.
You've been watching Brazil.
I sent Kurt a bunch of clips. I mean, I am going to do my quick little Loud report.
Please do.
Because I've been watching
The Brazilian
Loud.
super team is here, everybody. It's here. Sassy, Sadhak. Sadhak was playing Raze.
If you want to...
Finally!
Sadhak was playing.
that.
He was popping off on
Yeah.
Raze. He was kind of going stupid. This is the first round. They go for this aggressive pistol play. The entirety of Gamelanders Blue are hiding in this smoke in
Why do
long.
they keep pushing?
It comes down and they all die. And it's so silly. It is so. So could you run that back, Kurt? I was losing my mind. Yeah, so Sadok just flashes over into long for info, but it doesn't catch anyone, so they don't know that they're there, so they push down, and then they see the smoke. They're like, well, what? And then they just all come out of it and die.
I mean, that's
I think Optic did that too.
there's a lot of
they-
teams that do
teams
those
have-
smokes at Fountain,
yeah.
but they don't then trickle out of them forwards only.
That sent me on the very
That's-
first round.
That's that's seeing a thing and being like, oh, this is cool, and not really understanding why it's like useful. Because the only reason is so you can miss the first tag and get the timing. That's the only reason you want to do that.
Yeah, that was pretty silly. But overall, looking at Loud right now, I mean, somehow Saucy just wallbangs him with the Bulldog from miles away. I don't really understand how he was able to do that. The dude is still just cheating. He dropped like 20. Whenever he plays Sova Unbind, he drops like 25. It's at least. The dude is
How
just
did he
mental.
get that wall back?
I have no idea. It's ridiculous. Do you want to play it again, Kurt? It is ridiculous. And then for some reason, Auspus just sends it after that, which is the story of these two maps that I had witnessed.
Can we 0.25 this guy?
I mean, this guy's cheating.
What's he doing? He's got to be cheating.
The
right?
greatest case for the bald buff. I mean, it's unreal what this guy's doing.
Okay, so they've got... Gamelanders are trying to push their way into showers right now. I'm not watching what's
Yeah.
happening on the screen. I'm looking at the 10p
Right.
mini-map here. All right, so
Watching?
walking forwards. I don't know how far away we are from the actual clip
It's about
itself.
to happen.
All right, there we go, there we
There
go.
it is.
All right.
Djuzine is holding the angle.
Oh, he
He's
shot the boom bot.
125.
Oh
Yeah.
my
And he
God,
just-
that is just perfectly on his head.
He hits it through the wall. That's great. And then Saucy goes on to kill a bunch more players. I mean, individually, the team is insane. Their attack rounds were good, but their defense needs a ton of work. Like you could pull up the poor util moment round where it's just, they have good utility in these set plays, and they go for a lot of those big defensive aggression play, like kind of what they did on the pistol. Like Vikings used to do that stuff in Brazil all the time. But there are moments like this where like Ospas pushes into shower at the very beginning, and there's no recon that comes through, and then Saucy is just holding the recon, and then Pancata decides to just go for a play in the smoke, and they trade it out into a 3v2. Saucy still has the recon, but then they send it through with the Seekers too early. No one is able to push off this recon, and then they eventually just push through the wall without any of the util and lose a pretty tragic situation in this 3v2. But there were just rounds like this where people were just going for individual plays all over the place, and in a lot of the situations they were just dunking on them because their roster's stacked. But if they tighten up the coordination and the utility and some of the like flowing moments like that, where Ospas is like, I want to push into shower, well, rather than him just pushing it off the suck, like if Saucy also sent in a recon there, they probably would have gotten a kill at the very beginning. And then, I mean, there are just rounds like this too, where they're just on an eco and they have 5 sheriffs, and they just completely stomp them because, again, these players are pretty nasty. Like, they push through and Pancata just hits a nice little 1-2 and just destroys them. This roster is stacked. It's really a matter to me of them ironing out the team play and the utility decisions on the fly. But it looks like the pieces are there, and they have good, bigger ideas, and I like some of the comps that they're running, and it was cool to see Sadhawk playing really well on Raze. I think that it's definitely a sick roster. I mean, this is a great moment from Ospas. They had been taking shower control with Sadhawk's dog constantly. He also just kept delaying the dog and trolling them and then getting it through. And then game laners go for the shower crunch, and Ospas just ruins them. They have the talent.
God, Aspas's aim is so crunchy.
Yeah, man, it's nasty. But again, the util in the flowing gameplay moments, there just needs to be some better communication, because they go for so many individual plays, and if they just set them up a little bit better, I could see them really dominating teams like Game Landers. But they just beat them convincingly with the way that they're playing right now. And it looks like, to me, they can probably qualify out of Brazil relatively, maybe not relatively easily, but they're certainly one of the top teams playing like this. But I think if they can take that next step, that's how they'll be a legit contender.
Yeah.
But definitely a cool team, and they're just fun to watch because these guys are just fucking nuts. I don't know how many times I can say it, but these guys are crazy. Pancotto was going off the whole time, so...
Is this the team that was supposed to sign Ona?
Yes.
And then didn't?
Yeah.
Yes.
God, what a fucking miss that is from his little brain.
Yeah, it is extremely papige.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
This would have been such a fun team to have a kind of like exec macro focused coach work with, you know? Like the way that Crew set up these big rounds together and have these big utility combo plays and like the cool strats for the bonus rounds. Like that's the kind of stuff that you'd love to see with a team like this to really maximize the wild fragging potential that they have.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they can figure that out though. But they look really good, but I think they could be great if they can take that step.
Mas e aí, qual a sua opinião sobre tudo que foi falado? Você concorda com o que eles falaram? Qual a sua opinião sobre a estreia da Loud? Você gostou do que viu? Já deixa a sua opinião aí nos comentários, deixa também aquele like, se inscreve no canal pra não perder nada. Aquele abraço e até o próximo vídeo.